Well, howdy, howdy. This is Cubbypotamus, and it's a great day because, well, I think that's self explanatory. Now, it seems like I'm finally getting back to being myself a little more, or at least the self that I like to share. I've been quite preoccupied and just having a bit of a hard time lately. Just being angry about shit and the way things are going, you know. Um, and I think a lot of that anger comes from watching angry people, you know. Um, and I was just thinking about this, that about the idea of projection, right? Projection is when you um, angrily accuse other people of something in yourself that you really hate, and you try and distance yourself from that, I guess, by punishing them, right? And you punish the things in yourself, uh, in them, and you try and put that on them, right? And you call that bad. And, you know, and I'm guilty of that. you know, I get really angry about stuff, and, you probably see the good side of me, but I don't show a lot of the bad side of me publicly, but it's certainly there, right? But I was just kind of thinking, with all these angry politics, um, I guess one of the most common accusations are, is, well, oh, they're just horrible people, the other side, and, they can be. Um, but, and we're talking about other people and we're full of anger, right? Well, that's projection, right? I can think about these people or that people, and I'm really angry at them, and I want to punish them, and I'm mad, you know. Um, but in those moments, I'm projecting. In those moments, I am a hypocrite. So riddle me this, does it really make sense to take advice from me? If I'm projecting and I am angry about shit, um, about, well, to take advice or listen to me about other people. I mean, does it? If you see news and they're going on, or this person or that person talking about how someone's horrible or dishonest or evil or etc. and stuff, that anger comes from a place of projection. And I'm like that. I am talking about myself, right? And, for some reason, when the things I am angry about, talking about other people, then I don't judge myself. I don't get angry at myself for doing the exact same thing. No, I don't. I think that I am being just, right? Now, that's justice. That when they're a piece of shit, they're a piece of shit. And when I'm a piece of shit, I'm a hero fighting for justice. If you listen to me spouting off when I'm like that, you're listening to a hypocrite. There's a whole lot of angry politics in this world, and there's a whole lot of things that ain't right. And I'm not saying that everything's right or this or that's better, but what I am saying is, you know, um, don't take advice from someone who's being the exact thing that they're fighting against, right? Don't take advice from hypocrites. And if we're projecting, then well, yeah, we're being hypocritical. And I guess the simple fact of the matter is that being with enemies with someone never changes them. You can call people pieces of shit all you want, but when people call you pieces of shit, does that make you want to listen to them? Is that going to change anything about you? Or are you going to get defensive? All this hate and all this anger, all this bullshit, it don't change things. It don't change people. It just gets people who would agree together and makes them more strongly polarized, but it don't do nothing to change the other people, and it don't make this world a better place. It's just pretty fucking ugly out there right now. And people are angry, they're hurt, and they're hurtful. But, if we want to make this world a better place, then you need to do things that help, right? And if you see, you know, a news outlet or a social media influencer or a movement or something that's just centered around angry rhetoric about these people are the problems, and it's just all hateful and it has a hateful tone, then that's what you're going to become. I know people from both sides of the aisle who changed. They watch these angry politics and stuff, and with time, they sound exactly like the people they're listening to. It ain't good, and I miss those people, they're just full of anger and, it just poisons their soul, you know, and you are what you eat, right? And, I've had a pretty hard time with it lately, of just being angry, and I'm tired of that. I was watching this, I think it was a short or something the other day, and I was just about this guy, and he was just uh, helping, like, he was a trainer or whatever, and training, well, handicapped people and people with Down syndrome and stuff like that. And I was just blown over by his kindness. And I was just thinking about that, and just thinking that, man, how could anyone not see just the goodness of that and the beauty of that, you know, of almost any political stripe. Um, goodness is really obvious, right? And it might be a shitty world out there, but I don't want to just become that way myself. I think the ultimate form of protest to all of this isn't calling it bad. It's just not letting it poison you and not becoming like it. Because I can't change that, but I can change me. So, anyways, uh, this was Cubby Potamus, and maybe I will see you around sometime.